Hello. There were further people associated with the Dillon family, with the Leahy family. There's a Leahy family with Hartford Hospital. They forced me in there because a Dillon family was involved with confessions with my past and new neighbors, involved with them criminally, with houses in my area associated with their drug cliques into branch and foreign, and they had untimely deaths that brought up child offenders. I don't know if that was ever. In other words, then I had to force my mother to come. This was 3 months after my father died. And these were people involved with crimes leading up to and that. In other words, either identity thefts against me, crimes against my father. They attached me to fake conversations about my father. They pretend that people, they pretended I had conversations with them about police forms and about things that weren't at all. I never had one conversation in my life. And I noted the acceptance. In other words, they walked the younger Brendan Leahy had a pad like that because they have a triage that can force you for a mental evaluation. They have various nature of courts and judges with crime methods and natures recorded. Physical delusions recorded juxtaposed with their criminality. And so they're forging names and switching names. They have all crime methods. These are interbranch drug collects through time. I just remind. Fake news at the same time. Then, two other times they did that again. They forced me into for mental evaluation. First time was for 3 days. 3 days. They forged the name of a Dr. Shamsi Ali, who said that they did that knowing that he would no longer be with them. These are people who are also recorded in confessed crime rolls that were facilitated. I don't know if they didn't use this name, but they were facilitated and they recorded crimes of people from my town with the father of one and associated with of the federal criminal the co-defendants of a former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. So they were criminally with the capacity with them, leading up to and in a 2006 case, leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context case, leading up to and in other cases when I was a kid, and then leading up into it with cases since various natures of courts criminally involved. That they post they're involved with post dated documents that had been affected post dated to appear late from inside the Ninth Circuit, which it was later proven that they had been hand delivered on time, post dated. I mean, handed it on time and time stamped on time to the Ninth Circuit in Manhattan before the Trade Center attack context. Then the attack context, the judges were shown papers that had been post dated from inside the court to appear late with the same, that proven led to a 2006 case now in Connecticut with defendant, former director of the FBI as a defendant, and with the federal criminals that three of them had crimes with a whole bunch of people from my town. Police forms associated with the location on off Fox Connecticut News, with buildings downtown, with the shared policing of them, on off campuses relationships and roles with database illusion stacking in conjunction with their crimes with prosecutors, all the people that work with the courts criminally involved. A whole bunch of them. They stack names. Then in other words, they need you to respond to those names because then they pretend you had a conversation with them. They pretend you knew them growing up. They can't pretend it on paper. Every single exception is recorded criminally having been exploited, so they can't pretend that on paper either. So the first time I went down there, that's the time when there was with this Leahy family. I went in there. They make you just sit there for the whole time. The first person I saw in there, I don't know his name. He's tied to a Mayama family. Recorded to confess involved crimes with Paul Zano, his family. These are people with locations on off WFSB criminally involved with them. Per them because they attach me to fake conversations, fake both sides of stories, fake middles, and with their physical delusions, and with the various natures of courts criminally involved. So they made you still stay over there then overnight. Then they forced me into in a triage. Then they forced me for 2 more days on in the Institute of Living, still on the Hospital's campus, where they force you for a mental evaluation. This one Leahy came up, was pushing his body against me and stuff like that. I had no conversation. Then he went and said, "Well, you want a patch for cigarettes?" I just said, "Yeah," because I wanted to talk about that, about how, because it was so obvious they were trying to slander me. These are people through time they're trying to make me look bad behind my back. So then they use any trick they can that makes it looks like you were in collusion with them, and they lock it in. They don't let you have a report. This Brendan Leahy is also with drug critics, recorded and confessed by people associated with them, associated with, and demonstrated associated with New Britain Superior Court criminally through time. These are people with crimes with Washington D.C., with cases that went before them insidiously. These are fake news crime acts, natures of crime acts with media, all forms of it through time, through administrations criminally used. So then there was a Dr. Shamsi Ali. They also forged the name of. There was like some guys. I don't know if they're Pakistani, because there's also Pakistanis involved with them, with the area criminally, with the location on off Town Line Drive, and shared policing of the stores, recorded criminally involved. There are Jerry Kerrs, and there's a Michael Kerr, and then her mother. I don't know, and these are people who involved crimes with insurance companies, the police of them. They just take anyone tied to databases, criminally involved, sequence shifts, criminally involved with the Britain Superior Court through time, all kinds of ways, and with his Dillon family. So I don't know who the guy is. I know we could find their name of the guy tied to the Mano family who was inside. Now, this guy was sitting inside there. I don't know if he was undercover or what, but he was yelling too to a girl they had strapped down inside the triage. There's like a psychology place. They have this whole family, Leahy family, working there. They have a Lombardo family working there. Also recorded and confessed involved with the houses in my area with untimely deaths that are connected on and off Trinity College, also connected to other natures of predicate acts, attaching me to fake relationships to girls named Alicia. There's like 5 of them tied to New York City, tied to on off CCSU, on off Trinity College crime acts, with deans forging and switching names, switching names roles. In other words, attaching me to fake words, fake relationships to others in databases. They're also recorded and confessed crimes with UPS people associated with, and the policing of that, associated with Joshua Stryker. I never had a conversation with him in my life. I, and Eric Oliveri, also recorded and confessed involved criminally with them, with Eric Jensen, who's also further online, unless someone pretending to be him. But anyways, recorded and confessed involved crimes with the federal criminals, with crimes in crime roles in the Trade Center attack context, where the Ninth Circuit, where they show in the Manhattan, where they showed the post-dated documents to the court. That proven led to the 2006 case where they were co-defendants of former director of the FBI, and that was a part of a case /S that was going on at the time of my father's death. So these are recorded crime acts against me and him, with as court-tied doctors and drug clicks, all kinds of other natures of crimes, sequence shifting, mail crimes, wire crimes, identity thefts, fake conversations with me, then they have conversations. We were famous with me and them to fake conversations, fake positions, fake natures of relationships to federal criminals that are associated with them, criminally in cases through time, criminally with fake news crime acts. They forced the principal child offender with a whole bunch more even sexual ones and medical ones tied to them too. A whole bunch of other. They have foreign and domestic medical families associated on and off, the drug clicks associated criminal with Town Line Drive on and off of it, criminally involved through time. A scuba shack, criminally involved through time. Military police, foreign and domestic, criminally involved. Kuwaiti military. They have shared policing of the on off CCSU. They have criminal justice rackets where they train the policing of prisons and stuff. Their whole family members will involve crimes with overt criminal enterprises and with their whole rap mobs here. So then 2 other days I was there, they didn't I had no conversation with them. Then two more times they completely did fake conversations, exploiting how they did that the first time. The only truth they knew was that I raised my voice. That's because these people were faking passions or emotions and trying to start fights with me with people I don't even know the names of my new neighbors. But they're insidiously involved with them, being coached to crime roles with more child offenders recorded with the schools. There's a Phil Colo also recorded and confessed involved with them crimes with state police. Various natures of police form are involved criminally with the area, foreign and domestic. Kuwaiti military also involved with crimes with the deans, forging and switching names with the same police from off campuses. Then on off campuses crime acts, and on Trinity, one reported untimely death connected to the same ones with my new and past neighbors on off campus insidiously involved. Fake conversations with me. So now they can't defend themselves. There was a whole bunch of people that they forged names of doctors attached before that too. In other words, they had there are problems formally, and you can see that and how this state is so sick formally that other states have to be sick the same way. And you can see the coordination of the interstate crimes and interstate and worse criminals, because these are also mixed for in a whole bunch of ways with drugs since they were kids. Confessions, demonstration, crimes of overt criminal enterprises, crimes with people that didn't even go to my school, but they lived on each side of it, like a Fred Grisette. Also, in a Yagman family, with others next to a Samuel Dix house like that, recorded confessed crimes with the Leahy family. They have whole women in their family working there. They have a Lombardo family with a whole bunch of family members of fire departments also attached me to fake conversations with the rest of the child offenders also as their patients recorded and confessed criminally involved. In other words, with one of them already, with two of them already proven, the principal one, but then there's another one involved with the clique with this kid with the town offices, involved further criminal with all kinds of police forms, retired and standing with the police chief's family and his daughter and extended family involved criminally, identity theft, and with this Mayano family also involved with the New Britain Superior Court's coaching, having coached fake news crime acts, identity theft crime acts, fake conversations with me, fake both sides of stories, fake natures of news crime acts. They attached me to fake relationship to doctors when I was a kid. They attached me to fake mental diagnosis. These are people that spreaded rumors and lies insidiously, pretending I had conversations with them growing up, never at all. A Lucindo is also recorded and confessed involved having done that. I never had I don't know her. I explained she walked up to me two times in life. One time was outside of a serial killer's body dumping spot, like in the businesses before it. They made confessions. I don't understand. They made the guy's name of one of the buildings. Now those are people that are also recorded, other facilitated to crime acts roles with that same person who was, reportedly the serial killer, convicted of it. He's also recorded and confessed having been involved with them, having been used by them already, involved with so many natures of crime acts with them. Then what are they going to say? They're going to make overall allegations. They're going to point to databases that are used currently that's recorded too. But so they're forging names and switching names into branch, even with judges. When you go into courts, they tell you not to speak, and they exploit that criminally, highly sickly since founding. That's why there's no pounding drums. That's why there are shootings in areas like Hartford, Connecticut, right around the corner from Fox Connecticut News, criminally involved. The people with Hartford Hospital also recorded and confessed. One guy walked up to me just because he said, and the reason they walk up and make confessions to you, statements, so they can attach you to pretend you had a conversations after. There's a Casper family, a Chet Casper. I don't know his daughter's name yet, and his family involved criminally with a identity theft. I never had a class with them. I had nothing to do with these people. I've one time I got in a fight with him in 8th grade. I didn't even know who he was before that. They're sequence shifting with that. Worse than violence is what they're doing with sequence shifting, because then it makes it look like you knew him before that. These are also people crime acts rolls all the way around Church Street with a house at the corner of it, with people associated with it. Charlie Bowes also recorded and confessed involved with the Fox Connecticut News, Hartford, Connecticut, downtown policing of the clubs, uses of the corners, uses of the area, the identity or value of everyone, especially the north end of Hartford, especially where there are shootings. Also, Maria Fazina and her husband Steven Stocco and her boyfriends before that, people and this Maiano family recorded and confessed involved sequence shifts with her, with the whole groups. I never met her in high school. I didn't even know she existed when I was in high school. Thank God. You know, and I never had a conversation with Steven Stocco in my life except for on the phone, and it wasn't even a conversation. That wasn't a conversation. He hung up on me and called the police, and then God knows what he told them. So he's wire crime rolls with them because there are also wire crime rolls and crime methods recorded and crime natures recorded. See criminal insidiousness nature. I'm not even a lawyer, I'm not a police form criminal. We're gonna have the attorney general has to be get involved now because I have the rights to it now because the state police are also various state police and their family members criminally involved. They wouldn't help. They made it worse. They made it worse for themselves. Now I get the attorney general because the FBI is also involved criminally with all kinds of natures, wire crime, mail crime. What do you think has been speaking for with these areas with all the shootings? Hartford, Connecticut, Weathersfield, Connecticut, since founding, CT is Cherry Tree, fake branches. George Washington had to leave overt slavery and Weathersfield, Hartford, Connecticut, right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War. Not, even with the French generals' help, because the nations individually grouped in together were sick, are sick. So watch my video on values, nature, and value about that, and watch one about the heartbeat of Allah, etc. And get me a response to this Leahy family because there's also more people with the names. They stack names. They put all these names in there. Then they pretend criminally that you're bringing up people's names for reasons other. They brought those names up.